Welcome. Today we are looking at the Epistle of James, focusing on faith and works. This is a key topic in your CRS exams for SS3. Pay close attention. Let us begin. First, let me give you the background to the Epistle of James. James was the brother of Jesus. He did not believe in Jesus during Jesus' earthly ministry, but after the resurrection, Jesus appeared to him. He became a leader of the Jerusalem church. He wrote this letter to Jewish believers scattered among the nations. The letter is very practical. It deals with how believers should live. One of the main themes is the relationship between faith and works. James was concerned that some people claimed to have faith but had no evidence of it in their lives. He wanted them to understand that true faith produces good works. Now let us turn to James's teaching on faith without works. James chapter 2, verses 14 to 26 is the key passage. He asks, "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them?" This is a rhetorical question. The implied answer is no. Faith without works cannot save. James gives an example. He says, suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? Words without action are useless. Saying "be warm and well fed" does not help a hungry person. They need food and clothing. In the same way, faith without works is useless. What does James mean by faith alone? He says, you believe that there is one God. Good. Even the demons believe that and shudder. The demons believe in God. They know that He exists. They know that Jesus is the Son of God. But their belief does not save them. They shudder in fear. Their belief is intellectual. It does not produce obedience or love. James is not saying that works save us. He is saying that genuine faith produces works. Works are the evidence of faith. A faith that does not produce works is not saving faith. It is dead. Let me now walk you through James's examples of faith and works. He gives two examples. The first example is Abraham. He asks, was not our father Abraham considered righteous for what he did when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? Abraham was willing to sacrifice Isaac. This was a work, but his work was an expression of his faith. He believed God's promise. He trusted that God could raise Isaac from the dead. His faith and his actions worked together. His faith was made complete by what he did. James says, you see that a person is considered righteous by what they do, not by faith alone. Abraham's faith was genuine. It produced obedience. His works demonstrated his faith. The second example is Rahab. James asks, was not even Rahab the prostitute considered righteous for what she did when she gave lodging to the spies and sent them off in a different direction? Rahab risked her life to hide the Israelite spies. She believed that the God of Israel was the true God. Her faith led her to act. She protected the spies. She lied to the king's men. Her works demonstrated her faith. James concludes, as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. A body without a spirit is a corpse. It has no life. In the same way, faith without works is dead. It is not genuine. Now, let me clarify the relationship between James and Paul. At first glance, James seems to contradict Paul. Paul says, a person is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. James says, a person is justified by works and not by faith alone. But they are not contradicting each other. They are addressing different problems. Paul was fighting against legalism. Some people thought they could earn their salvation by keeping the law. Paul said no. Salvation is by grace through faith, not by works. James was fighting against antinomianism. Some people thought that faith meant believing certain facts. They had no change in their lives. James said that genuine faith produces works. Paul was talking about how we are saved. James was talking about how we demonstrate that we are saved. Paul was looking at the root of salvation. James was looking at the fruit of salvation. A tree is known by its fruit. Faith is known by its works. What are the characteristics of genuine faith? First, genuine faith is not just intellectual. It is not just believing facts about God. The demons believe facts. They shudder, but they are not saved. Second, genuine faith produces obedience. Abraham obeyed God. He was willing to sacrifice Isaac. His faith led him to act. Third, genuine faith produces love for others. If we see a brother or sister in need, we help them. We do not just say nice words. Fourth, genuine faith transforms the whole life. It is not just a belief, it is a commitment. Fifth, genuine faith perseveres. It continues through trials and difficulties. James also writes about trials. He says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Genuine faith endures. Let me also discuss other practical teachings in James. James teaches about the tongue. He says, "The tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body." He warns against cursing others and praising God with the same tongue. He says that this should not be. He teaches about wisdom. He distinguishes between earthly wisdom and heavenly wisdom. Earthly wisdom is selfish, envious, and bitter. Heavenly wisdom is pure, peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit. He teaches about prayer. He says, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." He uses Elijah as an example. Elijah was a human being just like us. He prayed earnestly that it would not rain, and it did not rain for 3.5 years. He prayed again, and the heavens gave rain. A common exam question asks you to explain James's teaching on faith without works. Here is a sample answer. James says that faith without works is dead. He gives the example of a brother or sister who is hungry and naked, saying, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," without providing food and clothing is useless. Faith without works cannot save. True faith produces good works. Works are the evidence of faith. Another exam question asks you to discuss the examples of Abraham and Rahab. Here is your answer. Abraham was willing to sacrifice his son Isaac. This work demonstrated his faith. His faith and his actions worked together. He was considered righteous for what he did. Rahab hid the Israelite spies and helped them escape. She risked her life. Her work demonstrated her faith. Both Abraham and Rahab were justified by works, in the sense that their works proved their faith was genuine. Another exam question asks you to reconcile James and Paul on faith and works. Here is your answer. Paul teaches that a person is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. He is talking about how we are saved. We cannot earn salvation by good works. James teaches that a person is justified by works and not by faith alone. He is talking about how we demonstrate that we are saved. Good works do not save us, but they prove that we are saved. The two teachings do not contradict. They complement each other. True faith always produces good works. Let me give you a quick summary. James teaches that faith without works is dead. True faith produces good works. Faith alone, without works, cannot save. The demons believe, but they do not obey. Abraham's faith was demonstrated by his willingness to sacrifice Isaac. Rahab's faith was demonstrated by her hiding the spies. Paul and James do not contradict. Paul speaks about how we are saved. James speaks about how we demonstrate our salvation. Keep reviewing, keep practicing. See you in the next topic.